We are getting old.
My dream is to be a pilot. I want to be an architect.
Surely just
You and I are growing further. You don't really talk to me.
Hey everyone, and welcome. You're here with the One Degree Alumni Podcast, and we're with Ep.7. My name's Roger from One Degree, and we're here with Miji, a past student from 2016. Great to have you here. How are you, Miji?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really good. So good to have you and have a chance to have a little catch up. It's been far too long. So yeah, let's dive straight in. Like I know it's been such a long time since you were at One Degree, but to start us off, I wonder if we could have a look back to that time and just tell us some of your memories from that time, when it was, what you were up to at that point in your life, and yeah, just anything you can remember.
Well, I started One Degree, and I graduated, I must say, from One Degree 2016, coming from Woodside High School. I don't know if it's the same school right now that it's called, but it was a journey, and from what I can remember, I had a good time. I had all the support that I needed with my education, and as I said, like I mentioned to you before, Roger, like it's one of the proudest moments that I've had in my life. Just achieving the grades that I wanted, and you know, it's the fulfillment that came with it. So just remembering the support that I had back then in 2016, it means a lot to me, because I couldn't have done it without you guys, and it's the best thing that I've ever had, like one of the best things.
Well, I mean, that's so amazing to hear. I mean, did when you were going into the program, what were your kind of expectations? What were you going into? What did you think was going to happen? And did those kind of feelings change as you went through it?
To be honest, I started off with a tuition outside of school. So when I left the tuition outside of school, going into One Degree, I was just kind of like, okay, I'm going into another tuition, another mentoring system that I have to come on Saturdays, and I wasn't too fond of it. But when I got into it, I kind of enjoyed it, because it was basically school again. And I feel like, you know what, like to think of it now, I'll still do that on a Saturday. And going into it, as time was going along, I'm like, this is actually quite fun. I like kind of going something to do to keep me productive, as well as I may not feel like I wanted to do education or GCSEs is long doing work. I don't regret nothing. Like it was one of the best times of that year, 100%.
Oh, that's so cool. And outside of like helping with academics and maths and English, which is obviously mainly what One Degree tries to support with, do you have any memories of any of the other kind of like life skills or soft skills or general kind of conversations you had, or bits of advice you received?
Yeah, most likely life skills. I feel like it's important, as well as it may feel like you're going into your school on a Saturday. It's more or less like you're going into school on a Saturday to do some work, but then to also build your social skills in regards to like still communicating with other mentors you haven't met before, you know, building a core relationship with them, as well as that's why me and you are still in contact today. And more or less just like having to think of something that you might want to get into, as well as now I'm kind of involved in One Degree now, so it's not a coincidence. But yeah, it's just one of them things. I feel like in my school, not in terms of One Degree, but when I was in school, I was always like a mentor and a part of like the school council in year 10, year 11. So I feel like I always kind of wanted to like look into that, as well as like how the mentors in One Degree and the tutors were helping us as well. So it kind of just made me feel like I want to help the younger generation. Even though I was young at the time, I still feel like the younger generation need the most help that they need right now. So yeah.
Definitely. And I mean, at that time, and it's still the case now, I know, music was a big part of your life, and you loved your music, and we even convinced you to perform a couple of times, and And can you remember much of that?
Yeah, I can remember all of it. I remember the first one was our graduation. The first one. To be honest, there was a time where I could have really done it. I think it's when it was a guy who came in. He was from the Star Wars cast.
Riz Ahmed?
Yeah, he came in and he said that his background, how he got into where he was making music at the time, and obviously he must have said, "Oh, does anyone in here make music? Does anyone rap?" And then I think everyone turned to me, and then I was put on the spot. And obviously I was a bit shy those times. I feel like I was a bit shy and confident, but more or less I just wasn't prepared. I feel like when you're prepared to do something, you can do it. But yeah, a few times I've performed for One Degree. I think it was one of the presentations just after the graduation, and it was when the graduation where we had to go to Soho. And I feel like that was a monumental time for me, as well as like thinking about the moment when I was on stage. Like I felt like the lights were on me,
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it, but it was good. It was great.
You know what? I remember that performance so well, and you did so well. And I found it hard on that stage in Soho, actually myself, because it was one of those setups where the lights were so bright in your face, you couldn't see the audience at all.
No, you couldn't.
and I like to be able to see who I'm speaking to, you know.
Exactly.
And I couldn't, and I found it really hard. So it must have been hard for you too.
Yeah.
Oh man, you did so well though. It was good fun. And so then obviously you got through the the whole One Degree program and everything like that, got through your exams. Talk us about the next part of your life then, following exams, going into college and from then on, what you sort of got up to and what that journey was like.
Yeah, so that journey, well, I feel like after school I just feel like I was just figuring out what I was doing. I feel like I have these conversations now and then with myself and my loved ones around me. More or less, I feel like I have a bit of regret, but I don't, because I am where I am now. But more or less, after One Degree, I just went straight into college. I started creative media production for City and Islington College. After that, I went into university to study film and television, whereas I felt like after One Degree I kind of identified myself as a creative, so I feel like let me even go to another avenue where I feel like I can enhance my creative skills. I was always kind of into like film and editing. I used to watch a lot of YouTube then throughout when I was 15, 16, so it's more or less I was just into it. But what I feel like I should have done, I don't want to say shoulda, coulda, woulda, but it feels like I really should have stuck to music and done something involving music, as well as I'm here now, which is fine. But after One Degree, I just took the creative avenue to do some other creative stuff in regards to film and editing, and that's what I did.
I mean, it's interesting hearing you say that and the way that it all sort of panned out. And I mean, not everyone believes it, but I'm always a firm believer of, some things do happen for a reason and they happen in their own time. And
exactly.
And you can't always force things if it's not in the right time and stuff like that. It feels like that's what you've done. Things have kind of led you down a direction for a reason, and you've gone off route every now and again, and then, worked your way back onto it, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you feel like now, where you are now, you're in a happy place? You're in a good place where you are right now?
Yeah, more. Yeah, I couldn't be more grateful, to be honest. It's a privilege, to still to be in the position that I am in right now. Just it's like a full circle, to be honest.
Yeah.
Whereas like 2016, 8 years ago, I feel like it was a message that's telling me One Degree is in front of your face, that there could be opportunities here for you, and I'm like, why not, just why not, let me just go for it, and if something's telling you something, you should just do it. It's in your gut. And
there must have been some tough times, between One Degree and right now. We won't go into where you are right now just yet. We'll come to that in a second, but between sort of just finishing up school or just after college and stuff like that, do you have any stories about some really tough times and how you got through that, and maybe what motivated you through that, and what sort of skills you drew on to really cope with, the ups and downs?
I feel like I doubted myself throughout the decisions that I thought I could have made myself. The decisions that I thought of myself in regards to, I wouldn't say going into college. College like is a tester. I feel like university was a big thing for me, whereas like I really should have went off my gut and maybe took a year out to really find out what I'd want to do in life and to experiment. I feel like I just went the whole education way. I just went through the whole way. I didn't take no years out, no breaks.
Yeah.
And I feel like I didn't identify myself as an academic student. More or less, like I was smart and more leveled in other subjects. So that's why I'd identify myself as a creative from when I left school and One Degree. So especially just doing all of them performances, I feel like throughout that whole 2016 summer, throughout the start of the year and summer, I was just so much into music. I was so much into it. I was so on it, even from 2017. So I feel like the challenges then, I just say just really go with your gut. Like, you know, I feel like you might have a lot of loved ones around your ears and telling you that no, you should do this, you should do that. And and the thing is, it's easy for them to say because they're the older generation. They want to guide you through life. But I feel like if I really stuck to what I wanted to do, I'm not going to say this and that, but I just feel like I would have been in a better place, more or less. But I'm here now, and I'm glad. I'm still grateful because I've learned from it. And now what I'm doing now is listening to myself. I feel like because I was 17, 18, I didn't feel like I don't really have the decision to make. I'm a young child. Like, I don't have the resources. I don't have the experience that my elders have. But I feel like if I really stuck to what I was saying, even though if I didn't have it all calculated, it was in my gut. Yeah.
I mean, it's there for a reason, that gut, isn't it? It's evolved over time to tell us when to run, when to stay. And I mean, can you tell me a little bit more about your university experience and what that was like, and just some stories from there, maybe.
University is a serious thing. I feel like every student that has an interest or wants to see themselves going to university, there's no rush at all. There's no rush. You don't have to go in there when you're 18, when you're 19. When I went into university, I was like fresh meat, as in I was 18. And then there's people that are 19, 24. I'm thinking, wow, like I'm really a young guy. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like when I got into university at the time, I'm like, okay, cool. There's older people around me, but now that I think about it, it's like it really just shows you can go uni at any time. And when I went uni, I may have gone at the wrong time. Even if I gave myself a year or two to maybe do work and to really see what I want to do in life, maybe university wasn't for me. I feel like you'd need to. I think what I've learned is that I didn't go to open days, so I just went straight into university. I feel like I just didn't take education serious at the time. I feel like where I was as a creative and I was so much into music, I feel like around that time, 2017, 18, social media and just a lot of creatives doing a lot of things have just risen. The stocks have risen so high. It's like you don't need anything, no sort of certificate, no sort of degree to get into what you actually want to get into. So I feel like once you identify that yourself, you can. But for other avenues where if you're academic and you're studying science or maths or whatever, I'd understand why you have to go that avenue. But as a creative, I've learned as a creative, I didn't have to go to that avenue. And the thing is, it's like I'm more like a trial and error. So if there's other youths that are younger than me and are creative, I'll most likely give them the heads up. I'm not telling them to not go to uni, but also I'm telling them that if you want to do this in life, there's always another avenue.
Yeah, makes sense. And then, okay, so let's jump ahead to, more sort of present day stuff. What are you up to right now? And also, I know recently there was an interesting, unexpected experience that you had, which led you down a new path that you're in right now. Tell us all about that.
Well, right now I just do full-time work in retail, and yeah, I still make music on the side as a hobby. I'm around a lot more creatives. I'm around a lot of people that we do the similar things and we're really interested in. We got a lot of similarities. So whenever I'm going out with the same people all the time. I'm going out with the same friends and networking, just building connections, and I feel like it's nice. Do you know what it is? I'm in a good place right now because I'm having to feel like there's no rush in life. Even in this economy, just do what it is best. But other than that, as life is going on, there's nothing to worry about. I feel like wherever anything will take you, it should be fine. And even me just saying that now, where everything will take you, I got took to another place. I got took to a building during my job. So I do a delivery driving job, and I was delivering at this place where I thought, okay, cool. I'm parking on the side. I need to go check to see where the address is properly. Whereas on the right side of me, so I parked on the left. I look at the right side of my window and I'm seeing One Degree, which is interesting. And I was gobsmacked. I'm thinking, am I in a dream? Because I've never heard of this, and this looks fresh. This looks like a new building. That's the whole thing about it, because it was so fresh. I thought like, no, this is not real. What's going on? Is it still in construction? So I walked closer, and it happened to be the address I was delivering at. And then I met a few people in the office and the reception. We networked. I emailed them the same day, and 6 days later, I got a job.
Amazing,
which is incredible. And more or less, I just felt like a message that I should just go for. So, like I said, I'm always gonna go with my gut now. And I was just more than happy to be a part of what's been built, and still pushing what's gonna come in the future. And it's amazing. And like I said, at the start, I'm only here to help, and whoever needs the most help is the youth of today, because they have the powerful message that they can spread. They're really what we need to listen to. So yeah.
I mean, that's such a good story. And just to put it in context for some people listening, so One Degree's got the mentoring charity side, and then around about sort of Miji's year when he was doing GCSEs, we got approval to open up our own free school, so the One Degree Academy. And that's sort of moved around to a couple of locations over the years, and eventually got its new location not too long ago. So the One Degree Academy was where Miji was delivering to, and got to randomly bump into, and now has got a job there, which is amazing. So we've kept you under the umbrella all these years later, which is great. It's amazing, man. So it's been so good hearing some of these stories and then the journey and everything like that. So what is some of your thoughts about the future? Have you I know you don't like to look too far, into the future, and you want to just, take it as it comes, and you're kind of going with your gut, like you said, and everything. But are there any sort of aspirations or any sort of things that you're thinking about, down the line?
As of right now, I feel like just financially in a better place, whereas I feel like that's the goal. I feel like it's the goal for everyone, to be honest. It is the goal for everyone, to be we're all in the same boat right now. So I feel like we're all alone in this together, but we're all striving for the same thing, and it's nice. So I feel like from now in the future, we should only really be building goals to connect with each other, to help each other to get into better places. And that's just me meeting new people, that's just me continuing and making myself happy in regards to exercising my hobby. In regards to the job I'm in right now, I'm more than excited I can't wait to work at One Degree. I feel like it's gonna be a job for the first time ever that I'm so looking forward to going into work every day. You know, leaving work, going into work. You know, like I don't like, my heart is so full that the youth of today and the kids at school, you know, they're so precious and gentle. It's just more or less trying to fulfill their needs, and what matters, you know, education is key. It's always key. It's always key. So it's just like giving them that importance in life. And yeah, but in regards to my goals, just more or less building connections, keeping myself happy, networking, meeting new people, and yeah, just trying to be in a better place. That's it, really.
Well, the One Degree Academy is so lucky to have you. You know, I'm sure you're going to do an amazing job there, and it's going to work out. And just from the way you're speaking about it and all of that, it just sounds like it's going to be a great new part of your journey, which is fantastic. I want to, if I can, just to finish this up, put you on the spot, if I can, and see if you've got 2 bits of advice. First of all, you've already given so many nice words of wisdom already, and you've got such a nice outlook to life, which I love. But first of all, for 15, 16-year-olds, GCSE students going into that stressful part of their life, you can now look back at that time of your life and probably assess it and analyze it much easier than you can when you were in the moment. But do you have any advice for those going into that stressful GCSE year?
Listen, for the kids that are like me, one advice that I was giving myself back then, and I stuck to it and it worked. Revision is so important. Revision is so important. For me, where I went wrong at the start of, I'll say where I went wrong for year 10, I wasn't revising at all. I couldn't revise at home. I wasn't paying attention in class. So what I was doing was I was going to every revision class after school, and I was attending any tuition that I think I hardly missed any One Degree lesson or class on a Saturday. I don't think I missed. I was very consistent because I wanted to pass my GCSE. So I say revision is very important, even in class and after school. After school, I think makes a difference because the teachers are more intimate with the students and they can really teach the students how to do this and do that, and you can practice it. Whereas where I was in year 11, after school, I was just brain dead. I was tired. I was going to sleep, So just revise as much as you can in school. Only for students like me. For students in general that can manage, I'll just say revision is very important and key. But yeah, and I feel like there's nothing to worry about, and don't feel ashamed to not ask questions and to talk to teachers. The teacher that you get along with the most, and it's a subject that you're struggling. You lot can build that connection, and I know it's hard. What going through GCSEs, don't take me back, but it was hard. But more or less, when you put in the hard work, you'll see the outcome. Yeah. And that's my 2 advices: revision and just put in the hard work, and eventually you'll see the outcome.
Nice. Thank you. And then the second bit of advice is: have you got anything in life generally that you draw on to help you through, or any bit of advice that you were given maybe in One Degree or externally, or anything that is just kind of helping you day to day, or helped you once you finished your GCSEs through the next part of your life? Is there any general bit of sort of life advice that you've got?
I feel like leaving what I went through in One Degree, more or less having a routine, and whilst you're doing the routine, sometimes you might have to start doing the routine yourself. Whereas I was going tuition by myself after school, not in One Degree, my old tuition, and I was by myself. I wouldn't really communicate less. It felt like, to be honest, when I'm thinking of it now, it felt like I was doing detention and I was doing work. Whereas when I was in One Degree, it was a routine, but I was meeting students that I know on a Saturday, and it was kind of more fun and it's more encouraging to come in, and I feel like that helped me school just gave you a routine in general, and I feel like in life it's always good to have a routine, and on the weekends as well. You know, it shows you that it keeps you focused on what you want to do and what you want to achieve, because at the end of it, I did get my GCSE results that I wanted. So, yeah.
Nice. No, I love it. Thank you so much. It's been great catching up with you. Really, just good listening to your little journey. I've really enjoyed it. This won't be the last conversation we have, of course, and we'd love to get you back and we can have a chat in the future again and see how the next part of your journey's gone. But thank you so much, everyone listening. This has been the One Degree Alumni Podcast, episode 7. Myself, Roger from One Degree, and you'll be listening to Miji, a past student from 2016. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.